Excuse me. That looks absolutely beautiful on you.
Thank you. Are you gonna pay for it? Why?
Nah.
Okay. All right. I don't give a fuck.
Maybe I would have if you didn't just say that though. Excuse me.
Now, in this video, before I started, right, because I forgot to mention something in the original recording, but if you guys pay attention to something, right, I always talk about how black women say, listen, they can read you when they look at you. Well, black men, it's vice versa as well. When you look at them, you can read them as well. See, a lot of you guys, you're obsessed, you fantasize, you are infatuated with how black women look. You see ass, you see titties, you see the melanated skin, and you lose control. Now, granted, the way how black women operate, based off how she looks, her personality and attitude is attached to her looks. So again, hence why in the black community, you notice that the fat, unattractive black women are always more cooperative and always more nicer to be around, also have a more pleasant disposition with a softer personality. Because why? Black women on a collective, right? They have rigged the game to where fat, unattractive black women, listen, you have to behave this kind of way because you don't have the same level of access that we have to the higher tier men. That's why, listen, as a black dude, yeah, it's easier to go and mess with an unattractive fat black woman because her attitude is attached to how she looks. And because she know her looks aren't desired, that's how you know, listen, you're gonna get a quote unquote nice female. If you guys look at the video I made weeks ago, she's fat with a nice personality. That's why she has a nice personality, because as a man, you don't want fat. You want slim. You want slim thick. You want thick. You want all those things plus being attractive. But whatever you don't want as a man is what you're gonna get. So again, you may want a black woman who is attractive to look at, that behaves the way you want her to behave. And the reality is, it's not designed like that. No, you either get one or the other. You can't get both, right? So either she's unattractive and treats you nice, or she's attractive with a stink attitude. So again, black men, they talk about how they can read you based upon your height, based upon the size of your hands. I saw something recently. Black women say they can tell how big your Johnson is based off your nose. You see how they always critically analyze you, black men, but you don't take no second thought. You don't take no time to stand back and analyze them the same way they analyze you. Because why? You see ass and titties, and let's keep it a stack. Most you simps, Glocktavius, they lose all brain cells, man. It makes you wonder, do these dudes even have a working brain? But see, black men, when you apply the same rules, when you apply the same standards, when you eliminate the way how they eliminate instead of selecting, when you play that same game, you realize real quick, yo, most black women don't even fit your standard. Most you dudes don't have a standard as it already is. But once you implement your standard and you stick to your standard and you apply that standard, you realize the game becomes scarce, right? The same way how they see most men are unattractive, most men are below average, most men don't fit what we want. When you apply your standard to them, black men, you see how that game is the same way. Now, I believe it's unnatural to stay single for a long time. It's unnatural to go a long time without having no action, but it's the lesser of two bad situations because, again, they're judging you off of what you can't control, and you judge them off of what they can control. So the fact that she's fat and unattractive, but she's forced to have a better personality and a nicer disposition compared to the ones who are actually attractive and in shape the way you want them to look physically, her attitude and her disposition doesn't equal up to that. So, black man, like I said, man, there's reasons why you shouldn't approach, but let me go ahead and get into the main video. Hey, yo, EIE Preto Hermano. Now, in this one, black man, you might ask yourself, what's the point of those two video clips, right? See, the point of the two video clips in the first one, you got the black dude approaching the two black women, and he said something about, that looks nice. And she asked the man, well, will you pay for it? And under her breath, you heard her say, I don't give a fuck. See, black man, the reason why I tell you, black men, why you should not make approaches is simply because you, as the average black man, you, as the normal black man, when you approach, you validate. That's why I tell you guys, you should not make approaches. See, when Glocktavius, mind you, 25%, I've talked about it before. How do black women judge you when you approach them or just off of your physical appearance? If you don't have tattoos, if you're not rocking a long hairstyle, braids or locks, if you don't have tattoos, you don't have gold fronts, you don't have bad speech or bad grammar. Again, they look at how you dress, right? They look at how you dress. They look at if you have muscles, if you're in shape. They look for so many positive ways to disqualify you simply because you're putting in the work to be better. See, black men, and again, when you are better, they equate that with money. That means you're willing to spend. That means you're willing to trick off. That means you're willing to use the money you worked hard for to maintain and keep her. No, Glocktavius hasn't done anything. He doesn't self improve and he doesn't worry about getting money to make his own life better. Not to give the money to the black woman, but to make his own life better. He's not even focused on that. See, again, as the normal black man, the average black man in their eyes, right? Not in my determination, right? But in their eyes, they deem most men as average or even below average. They see most men as unattractive, right? Because again, look at the guys who they are willing to share. When you look at the kind of men that black women go after, it's comical. For all you black dudes who are out there in Houston right now for spring break, I really encourage you guys to people watch. Just people watch, man. Sit back and look at the black men who black women are going out their way to approach, out their way to make it easy for. The same guy who she would meet tonight and get fucked by tonight, right? Those guys are literally copy and paste. I can tell you three things that's the common denominator amongst the men that black women choose, especially right there in Houston. Tattoos, dreadlocks, moissanite chain or moissanite AP. You feel me? Probably flexing some money too, but that's the common denominator, right? So you as the average black man, you as the normal black man, again, think about when guys inbox Keisha's on social media. Don't matter if it's Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or whatever platforms you guys use. Most of these black women on Instagram, let's keep it on Instagram, right? They want money. I talked about it before in one of my videos. They over sexualize themselves on Instagram for attention and or money. Again, for them, attention is social currency or this currency in general, right? They will take social currency over real currency. Why do I say that? Because listen, you had the one chick, Miss London, right? If you guys are really into corn, you know who Miss London is. Little Baby during the pandemic paid her $16,000 to smash. And guess what she did? Instead of going, instead of keeping it under wraps and milking Little Baby for more $16,000 payments, she went online and talked about how and bragged about how Little Baby paid her 16,000 to smash, but he paid you 16K one time when he could have got or when she could have got 16,000 from him at least 10 times, right? Maybe even 20 times. Run up a half a million. I'm sorry, run up $250,000 off of one celebrity paying for sex. But no, she had to run her mouth because why? They're too worried about status. They're too worried about clout. These bitches want to be clouded up, black man. So you, as the productive average black man, again, I hate to call you those things, but I'm just using it as adjectives of how black women would describe you guys, and me included, right? I'm in that same category. When we approach them, they look at that as validation. It's the same way how when, listen, you inbox her on Instagram and she doesn't respond. She was posting sexual stuff on her story, and guess what? She doesn't respond. See, when you approach, you validate. And this is why they come to you with that nonsense, because why? She tells you you gotta pay. You feel me? She wants to give you her Instagram instead of the phone number that you asked for, right? You have the friends that want to cock block you, right? Mind you, they don't cock block Glocktavius, if you ever noticed that, right? They don't cock block him. But you, as the productive black man, they cock block you. Listen, the dude rode off on his bike. He said, "Listen, maybe if he would have never said anything about that, I would have paid for it." See, Keisha, she jumped straight to money, and this is how you know they don't like you. See, I've heard multiple black women over the years, right, since I was in high school. If you want to scare a man away, if you want him to go away quickly, just bring up money. So you know when Keisha talks about you having to spend money, whether it's at a restaurant or whether it's directly on her, she doesn't like you. When Keisha talks to Glocktavius, when they talk to Pookie, when they talk to Jay Fizzle, no money is mentioned. No money is mentioned. I saw videos where they talk about, oh, Glocktavius, he's more giving of himself, he's more offering. They just do for you instead of you having to ask. Those niggas don't do shit for black women. What the fuck is this bitch talking about? You think them bitches that Jay Fizzle got pregnant, you think he's just giving away money to them? Yo, fuck no. He has so many kids, he's not even required to pay child support. So you think he's giving away just racks of money? See, black man, when they look at you, again, your eyeballs are dollar signs. Your teeth are the keypad to the ATM. And when you open up your mouth, cash dispenses. A lot of you black dudes, you just don't get it, man. Listen, they're playing a different game, a game that you was never aware of, a game that you didn't even sign up to play. You never turned on the console. You never turned on your PC and said, "I'm ready to play this game." No, you just woke up one day and realized, "Damn, I'm playing a game. How do I win?" You win by not playing the game. You win by not making approaches. Let me point something out to you guys before I go to the second clip. If you guys live in cities where you actually have access to non-black women, again, this is why I always talk about brothers who live down south, because down south is very segregated. You cannot sit here and tell me if you're black and you live in Alabama, you live on the white side of town in Alabama. I highly doubt that. Again, I was in Atlanta for a period of time, and guess what? The majority of black people live on black sides of town. Only in certain pockets, and again, small pockets of certain counties where you might have a mixture of people living together, black, white, Asian, and Hispanic. It's very rare in southern states. Very rare. For the most part, Asian people live around white people in totality. Black people, you have your own side of town. Within the black sides of town, Latino people have their own side in that county. And somewhere in the middle, you will have black people and Hispanic people in the same area. That's how it works down south, right? Now, again, outside of the south, or even within the south, right? If you guys take your time to approach non-black chicks, Asian, white, Latinas, you realize off the muscle, right? Off the rizzing, the interaction is different. It's very different. You can feel the fact that you're not being judged, right? When she looks at you, she smiles. She might even go out of her way to wave and say hello. A black bitch will stare at you and listen, nothing will be said, right? They have that whole nonverbal communication. I communicate with my eyes. So if I look at you, that means I want you to approach. No, we don't have time for that, because again, that's also used as bait. You approach, and guess what she does? Turn her nose up to you, right? I've been seeing that my whole life on Instagram. I've watched it in person. Yes, they would talk about how, listen, I stare at a man because I want him to approach. But then when you approach, she turns her nose up to you. She act like you don't exist. She act like, yo, listen, fuck you, nigga. But that's because that's the equivalent of you jumping in her inbox. So when you look at that second video clip of the guy in Houston, right, walking around, approaching black women, dapping them up, giving them the fist bump, right? A lot of you black men will look at that video clip and say, "Oh, damn, that black woman, she's fine." Or that black woman, she's pretty. Oh, I would approach her too. See, in an environment like that, right? I've noticed this, right? I've noticed this about black women. In environments where there are a lot of black women and they don't really have to compete against non-black women, that's when their standards increase tenfold. It's like Kaioken, right? It's like Goku when he goes Kaioken times 10, right? Or he goes Super Saiyan 1. Listen, even what's the when he goes Super Saiyan Blue, but he adds the Kaioken to it. I'm like, it's the same thing. When you put them in a when you put them in an environment where it's only them, the mindset it shifts, and not in a positive way. It shifts to where it becomes very negative. So again, you as the black man, again, go back to that video clip. Watch it if you have to. A lot of you guys will see those black women out there and say to yourself, listen, I'm going to approach. Look at how some of the females, again, she turned her nose up to the dudes. They gave him a fist bump out of like almost pity. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, but a lot of you dudes, you'll go out there, and again, I already know black men. You see ass, you see titties because they're trying to entice you like that. Again, remember something with black women. They're always looking for one of two things. Either they're out looking for sex or they're looking for money. If she can get both in one night, which is prostitution, they'll take that. You know what I'm saying? That's a good night for them if they can receive money and sex in the same night. But see, a lot of you dudes don't realize you can read them the same way how they claim to read us, right? They say they can read us based off of height, based off the placement of your nose, your eyes, your shoe size, your hairline, the placement of your ears, your voice, all that stuff, the stuff that you can't control, the stuff that you're born the way you're born. They tell you that they can read you off of the things you can't control, right? Now, when you look at them, the things that they can control is how you can tell, who is who and how you can read them. When you look at them, when you see weave, she's insecure about her own real hair because why? In the words of black women, they call them nigga naps. She has nigga naps and BBs in the back of her head, right? She doesn't have any edges. Her edges look like they've been burnt and peeled off. You know what I mean? When you see pounds of makeup on her face, it's because guess what? There's not good skin underneath there, right? The pounds of makeup, as they say, is to make herself feel good. Listen, she's wearing that makeup because at the end of the day, she doesn't even like how she looks, black men. The ones who wear pounds of makeup, look at the fact that their face doesn't match the skin tone. Their face and the skin tone of their neck does not match. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, why would you do that to yourself? Again, look at how they dress, black men. They they can control how they dress, but you go outside dressed so provocatively to the point to where you can't tell me you're not looking for sex. You came outside basically 75% naked. You're looking for sex, black men. But again, a lot of you guys are in denial about this. You feel like, oh man, I love black women. Oh, black women have the best sex. You never even had sex with anybody else to say that. But again, this is what I've been told by black men. Again, a lot of you guys don't realize when you approach, you validate. When you go in the inbox, you validate. Again, you see ass, you see titties, and what they see is dollar signs. What they see is an opportunity, right? They're going out there for the guys who you saw in that one Houston video I made with the moissanite chains. They're not out there for you as the average black dude, the normal black dude. Because I've watched a couple of these videos, and you can tell like the normal guys, the average guys, they're out there, they want to get some action too. I'm not saying you can't get any action. I'm not saying you're going home with no ass, but a lot of dudes, you're wasting your time approaching because the approaches you're making, they're not going to lead to anywhere, right? Black bitch might just want some conversation out of you. You feel me? She just wants some quick attention because guess what? The guys who she wants to approach her aren't really approaching her. Glocktavius isn't going out his way to approach her. I'm telling you, if you guys sit back and people watch, again, Houston right now is the perfect environment to sit back and people watch. Look at who these black women are going out their way to speak to. That's the difference. You normal black men, you average black men, you're going out your way to speak to her. Look who she's going out her way to speak. Look at when she gets around certain crowds of men, they linger over there and they kind of position themselves to be in his bubble to where it makes it easier for him to speak to her. Look at who the kind of men who she's given the easy access to. You think when they go outside in those short, in them pum pum shorts and the skirts and the fishnet bottoms, you think she's out there to get fucked by average men? No, she wants to get fucked by Mr. Glocktavius, Mr. J Fizzle with his moissanite chain and tattoos on his face and dreadlocks. You feel me? That's what they're looking for. Degeneracy, black men. Like I said, Houston spring break. Again, to me, that's just degenerate, dude. If you look at the activities they're participating in, and the actual like physical location, it's just nasty work, man. You know, it's nothing but low credit scores and STDs out there. That's it. Low credit scores and STDs. That's the only thing that's out there in Houston right now. And again, mark my words. Look, give it like 1 month for things to actually blow over. Because spring break, I think, is still lasting for at least 2 more weeks. Look at how all these black Johns are gonna come back to their cities. Again, I feel bad for you brothers who live in like Houston, DC, Florida, Atlanta, North Carolina and stuff like that. Virginia, they're going back to those places with STDs, black man. Glocktavius, J Fizzle, he was spreading that shit rapidly. And a lot of you average, normal black men, she will give you the pussy after she's infected, right? So then when she infects you and she turn around and point the finger at you, yo, listen, you did this to me. No, bitch, you went out there to Houston and got destroyed by multiple men. I'm telling you, dudes, listen, don't approach. Don't approach black men. I get it. You see ass and you see titties, see the melanated skin. Do not approach them. You're wasting your time. I hate to sound so pessimistic. I hate to sound so negative. But when it comes to dealing with black women, let's be honest. Being pessimistic and being single, it's the better of two bad options. Because guess what? You can get with them. You can try to get with them. I mean, you're not going to get a positive relationship. Again, getting sex from black women is the easy part. Getting a relationship that you actually cherish and value, because most dudes, like I said before, 65% simp, they don't have self-control. Those guys can't just smash a black woman and keep it pushing, let alone wear a condom, smash a black woman and keep it pushing. Because black women have these guys so starved out and they're still mentally stuck on the plantation, they feel like when they get some ass from a black woman, they got to hold on to it tight. Like a seatbelt, you feel me? Like an anaconda grip. They got to hold on to it tight because he doesn't know when his next piece of puss is coming. So instead of moving on, trying to find a new chick, trying to go interracial, these guys, I've watched it with my own eyes. These guys put up with disrespect, being talked down to, you feel me, being manipulated, all for ass, all for stretched out stink box. Listen, these dudes aren't even getting pristine, high quality pussy. These guys are getting Arby's roast beef. Here comes the meats. These dudes are getting boxed that's been stretched out. Niggas done bust 100 nuts inside of her. You feel me? You dudes be eating pussy from females that been squirted in. I'm like, come on. You niggas are so desperate. But again, that's what these black simps hold on to. And black women already know this. Listen, you think those dudes who mess with these the YNs messing with these older chicks, you think if that same older black woman was his age, she would turn around and give him a chance? Fuck no. That's what I'm telling you, dudes. You're accepting bad deals, dude. And What you're doing is you're boosting her ego. You're boosting their minds up, dude. This is why they can believe this stuff and talk the way they talk, because black men, you don't set no goddamn standards. Oh, it's hard being a productive black man. It's hard being a responsible black man. It's hard being a black man with standards, because you realize so many other brothers will listen, they'll sacrifice the standards. They'll fold on the standards. They'll turn their back on standards because why? Ass is more important. Oh, anyways, black men, another video. I'm out. Peace.